Jacob Weitering. It was the year after I feel like he really announced himself, not only to the Carlton folk. I think we had already seen the signs that he was starting to really blossom. But for the rest of the AFL world, he really put himself on the map in, 2020 and what he achieved there, obviously being our best and fairest winner. And 2021 was pretty much more of the same. I thought he had a really strong year. He averaged, if you look at the numbers, there are a couple of areas where he ranked as elite in the competition. And I guess I am biased for Carlton players because I really did believe that he was one of the best defenders in the league, if not the best. Now, I understand, Stephen May plays for Melbourne. They've won the flag and they're finished right up there towards the top. The Alir inclusion into the All-Australian team is the one that really got people talking. But, what do? This is what happens when you don't play finals football. You have players that are unlucky to not be recognised for the work they put in. And I'm sure he still got the recognition, but anyway, those individual awards are not something that I think bothers Jacob. Well, maybe they do, and I think he'll channel that in a different way next season. But I was really impressed. I was really happy. We, touch wood, providing he stays healthy and no injuries and whatnot, we can pretty much watch him with certainty and know that he's going to be leading us well and doing the right things and playing the right way and making sure that the standards are met. And it's a real sigh of relief to have, as many of these players as possible, the ones where you just know what you're going to get. One thing Jacob really is able to do is not lose his cool and let things affect him too much. Now, I know he had that one game against North Melbourne, which, to be honest, that was just a disaster from halftime onwards, and the rest of his team didn't help him. But he really came into his own this year, I felt, on an off-field sense. And what I mean by that is at the start of 2021, there was this, well, for me anyway, I had heard him speak. He spoke very well, very clearly, really in an impressive manner. And then the more he got comfortable speaking on SEN with Jared Waitley, the more I started to see, oh, wow, this guy would potentially be our next captain. Or, if he's not the captain, he's definitely going to be a strong leader. And not being on the inside, I'm not exactly sure what his voice is like, how he directs things and instructs things, but that really started to come out this season for me, and I noticed that, and it was really pleasing. He's really maturing, and sometimes, if not all the time, but sometimes I find I need to just take a step back, strip it back, take a deep breath, and look at what actually is happening. And we've got the real emergence of our 2015 draft class coming through at a really high level. Jacob Weitering is a really, really high level defender. He is right in that top bracket. And I take a lot of solace in that. And really, from here on in, I think if he just gives us more of what he's been giving us for the last 2 seasons, we're in great hands. One thing about him that I'm really interested to see a little bit more of is this offensive game of his. And I think we started to see it a bit more in 2021. And I wonder how much more we push with that moving forward. Because I remember when he was drafted, it was the intercept ability, which was the highlight of his game as far as what the reports were saying. And it's so fascinating because we've got Liam Jones, who is, in essence, a really strong intercept defender. But at the same time, he really is a great one-on-one defender as well. And I can see this notion of, we should probably look to put someone in the backline so that Liam Jones can be an intercept player, whereas I think it's Jacob. He's so strong one-on-one, but I really do want to explore and I guess see what it looks like if he had more of a focus on being our spare or being an intercept player. It's just a thought that I have. It's not concrete, but I'm really liking that his kicking is starting to show a bit more. And I think that's going to unlock something else with him next season. I mean, when you've got a lockdown key defender averaging 16 disposals a game, and taking the best forwards every week, we're in really, really strong hands. So I'm happy. He's a guy that whenever I think about him, whenever I say his name, thinking about Carlton, it's just like, Jacob, what do you say? Every time he plays, takes a strong mark. It's like, Jacob, just super proud. He should be really proud of what he's been able to do with his career so far. And hopefully the work continues and he continues to grow and build and not get complacent, which is something I'm really confident is not going to happen with him. He doesn't strike me as someone that is going to get complacent. And I believe him when he speaks and he, talks about the right little things that I like to hear as a fan. And I'm excited. He's a star. He's a star for us. He's one of our top players and he's one of our most important players. And, touch wood, we miss a game, with him. I remember early in the season, he hurt himself, hurt his leg and it looked really bad. I remember my life flashing before my eyes. It reminded me of when Matty Cruiser hurt himself. And I'm thinking, if we ever, touch wood, were to lose Jacob for any stretch, we would struggle. He's a very important part of what we do. And he's the general now. And I think he'll step more and more into that as we go on. I think from 2021, it really happened. But 2022 onwards, it's Jacob Weitering's instruction. And that's how I look at it from the outside. I'm not sure if that's how it really is on the inside. But, there was a Sam Doherty type voice in that back six or back seven. Doc's got things to, worry about that are far greater than football. So I'm not sure what to think of how that leadership connection works with he and Weiters, but you can never have too many strong voices back there. So I'm excited. I'm happy. He's one of the shining lights for the footy club and I can't wait to watch him play again. Let me know what you think. How did you find his season? And what do you look at when you look at the future of Jacob Weitering? Because we've had a solid, stretch with him now, and I feel like there's more to unlock. But what are you seeing? How do you think we can utilize him better, if at all, moving forward? And we'll go from there.